My name is Genevieve, and I'm a registered acupuncturist here in Victoria, BC, and this is my studio, so welcome. I've been invited to come and talk to you today about acupuncture and how it can help runners perform better. If you're a runner, you know how important it is to take care of your body. So today we're going to be talking about a therapy that's been used for thousands of years and that I absolutely love, and that's acupuncture. We're going to look at what acupuncture is, how it works, a few benefits that can enhance performance and recovery when training, and a few specific injuries that are most common with runners when preparing for a race. We're going to look at how I structure a treatment with a guest that's going to be with us a bit later, and I'm going to try to answer some of the most common questions about acupuncture and how a treatment works. So thank you for joining me, and let's get started. Now let's take a look at what is acupuncture. Acupuncture is part of the traditional Chinese medicine system, and it consists of inserting thin sterile needles in specific points located all over the body. These points, we believe, correspond to different organs and system, and by stimulating them, we can promote healing. We don't put anything in and we don't take anything out, right? The idea is to balance the qi, or the energy flow of the body, so that the body can heal itself. Acupuncture has been used for thousands of years to treat a variety of conditions, from muscle pain, back pain, to anything from infertility to anxiety, stress, or a lot of things. So how does it work? Well, I referred to a concept known as qi. Qi is kind of hard to explain in Western medical terms, but it loosely translates as vital energy or life force. So if we compare this to the nervous system in the body, we know consists of electrical neurons firing along specific pathways, depending on what we either want to do or natural reflexes. Well, the idea of qi is kind of the same. If you stimulate one part of the body, it's going to travel along a specific pathway, which is going to affect something at the other end of it. It's like a butterfly effect. So in Chinese medicine, we believe that the organs are related to each other and to every part of the body through kind of a system of meridians, or rivers, if you like, that qi flows through them. So when there's dis-ease or injury or pain, we will look at, well, where is the energy not circulating, and where can we open things up to balance it so that proper flow is restored along the body, and then the body can heal itself. Okay, now we're going to look at what makes acupuncture different as a modality for treatment during recovery or preparation for a race. Acupuncture relates to the organs a little bit differently than Western medicine does. We have certain associations. So you have the organ and its pathway of energy through the body, and we have certain ideas, like the spleen-stomach system relates to your digestion, but we can also look at the spleen for muscle cramps. So if you think about it in Western medicine terms, the digestion system is what you fuel your body with, and that in turn fuels your muscle. It helps create the blood in your body. That's circulation of energy. If there's an interruption in that pathways, then the muscles or other tissues of the body are not going to function at their ultimate capacity. So in Chinese medicine, if someone comes to see me to treat calf cramps, well, I might start at the stomach and not necessarily at the calf to work my way up to the root of the problem. That's something that's really special about Chinese medicine, because we don't treat a collection of problems, and we treat everybody differently, because we always try to look at not what is the main problem, like a knee pain, but we're going to try to see where it's coming from. So everybody that comes in, I can have 3 people come into the clinic complaining of knee pain, but everybody's going to get a very different treatment depending on what the problem is. Is it tendon related? Is it bone related, like arthritis? Or is it an alignment problem in the skeleton? So it's really interesting to be able to personalize each treatment to each person and what they need to accomplish, especially for athletes. Every athlete is very aware of how their body works normally, right? So if you take an athlete, you're going to watch how they move, what they eat, how they sleep, and we're going to try to maximize each of these processes so that your recovery, your performance, and the way you show up at a race is the best that it can be. And now we're going to move on with one of our clients soon, and we're going to talk about a few specific injuries for running. So we're going to talk about knee pain, we're going to talk about shin splints, we're going to talk about plantar fasciitis, we're going to talk about digestion and stress and anxiety and your immune system. So we're going to go through this, and I'm going to show you how and what I look for in the body and how I follow the pain or the pathway that's created this pain and how we release it. Okay, now we're going to explain some of the more specific and most common injuries that I see in clinic with runners. This is my friend Rosa, and she's actually going to be running the TC10K with you guys. So we're going to use her body to kind of show what I'm talking about, and then we're going to step into treatment with her. So starting at the foot, very common running injury is plantar fasciitis. Usually you'll see this with heel pain, especially when first waking up in the morning after sitting for a long time. It can kind of feel like you're walking on a bruise. The pain is usually like really close to the heel bone, and that is an overuse injury. So it's a degradation of the tendon fibers over time. It can be quite painful, and obviously you need some rest, but with acupuncture we can help speed up the healing process. One thing that can be a cause of it is when you're running, overpronation of the foot, so that your foot is laying a little more on the inside. Often people sprain their ankles often, or they're just like a slight imbalance in the ankle alignment. So we can look at the two tendons on the top of the bone here. This is located under the stomach channel for me, but by needling this, restoring proper alignment can help the way the foot is laying while running to alleviate some of the pressure. Looking further up the stomach channel, that's why often what I will do is I will look at one of the first points at the other end of the channel to try and alleviate some of the pressure below before I needle locally. So there's a point here right below the eye, and often what I'll do is I'll get the client to hold the point and then come back and press on the site of injury. If the pain is decreased, then we're going to start working with that channel to reestablish balance. Going up the leg, another injury that we see a lot is shin splints. Those can be really painful if you've ever suffered from them. Shin splints affect the front of the tibia, and it can be either medial or lateral, depending. And those are like the spleen and the stomach channel lines again. Shin splints are more of an inflammation, again with repetitive impact or flexion and extension of the knee. Again, another cause can be a misalignment of the ankle and the way the foot is laying, or it can be often caused by really tight calf muscles in the back. So there's an imbalance with the antagonist and the protagonist muscles. So we're going to look at, if she has really tight calves, we're going to look at whether it's on the lateral portion of the leg, and then follow that up. See if we can find other tight areas to release to give us a little more give here before we needle directly on the calf. Going up the leg, we can look at runner's knee. Runner's knee is a pulling of the tendon on the patella, that little round bone over the knee. Often you'll feel like a crackling, like what we call crepitus in the knee. There's going to be a lot of pain either at the top where the bone meets the tendon, or a little more lateral. This is quite often caused by an imbalance in the quad muscle, the quadricep muscle group. And that happens a lot with runners or people that spend long time sitting and then go through really strong active exercise after. So that creates a muscle imbalance. With the muscles being too tight, it pulls on the tendon, and repetitive flexion and extension when you're running causes inflammation here. So here we can work, again, we look at the stomach channel, we can look a little more too if the IT band is sticking on the muscle group. So we can work on 2 lines here, but we can start at the ankle and then work our way up, working with that channel to release the muscles. Once the muscles get a little more relaxed, we can go more locally and needle motor points. Motor points trigger a full muscle contraction and release, so that when a muscle is locked short or long, it means it doesn't do its full range of motion that it's supposed to do. By triggering the motor point, you're kind of forcing a full contraction and release, so that hopefully now the muscle is in its proper position and you can start stretching and rehabbing the muscle so it starts moving in a more natural way. Again, at the leg, because running is all legs, right? We have another common issue is IT band syndrome. So the IT band is that tight band of tissues that goes all along the side of the leg. It connects the TFL muscle, which is a really small muscle that helps in that hip flexion and extension. And then you have the glute muscle group in the back that kind of connects to that. So tightness in the glute will refer in the tendons, and then that's when you get like really sharp burny pain on the side of the knee. Can get pretty painful where you have to stop the movement. What we do here is that we're going to look again, where is it coming from? And we're going to look, okay, well, the glutes are really tight. The person will often complain of like piriformis or sciatic-like pain in the back of the leg. If I look at this, for me, that's a gallbladder channel, which runs all the way the side of the ankle, the side of the body up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look down the channel and see if I can find little adhesions, like a little bump here. Go back. If the muscles are releasing, that means I'm taking some pressure off the IT band, which is in turn going to allow blood flow to flow here. Once the pain is alleviated and it feels less tight, we're going to start working locally with massage or doing needles on either side of the band to help release the tension and promote healing so that it's not so painful. And other issues that runners experience a lot is digestion or stress issues, because running puts a lot of stress on the body, which can, if the nervous system is already taxed in other areas, can be a little bit hard to regulate. With acupuncture, we can work with the nervous system to calm everything down, release endorphins, natural pain reducing hormones, so that the experience of running feels more enjoyable. Other areas that can be affected with strenuous exercise is the immune system, because it takes a toll on the body. You're using a lot of your energy. With that, we're going to look at the adrenal response. If there's a lot of stress in the body, the adrenals, the nervous system get taxed, then your immunity gets low, and then that's when you get sick. So by helping regulate these processes, you can have more endurance, more ability to recover from injury, from fatigue, strains, or tightness in the muscles. So this is kind of how we work with acupuncture to help runners perform better and recover better. Next, we're going to get prepared with Rosa here, and we're going to run through a treatment with her for her race next week. Okay, so now we're all set for treatment. Before we got ready on the table, Rosa and I had a conversation about what her goals were for today's session. We went through a full history of injuries, medical history, family history. Again, it's with this idea of trying to find where the root imbalance is coming from. I'm trying to find, okay, when did this start? Or was there an event before that where things were never the same afterwards? So in her case, we're working with shin splints and a little bit of tightness in the tendons, like the IT band here. And through our conversation earlier, we also discovered that she's had quite a few digestion issues in the past, and she has a pretty active, busy life outside, plus training really hard. So in Chinese medicine, when we look at which organ I would work with or which lines of energy I would work with, I'm looking at the stomach channel, and I'm looking at the liver channel as well. And the liver we relate often with tendons and stress or overwork. So this is where we're going to go. I work in Japanese style acupuncture. It's a very gentle approach to acupuncture needling, mostly superficial. And I use a lot of the abdominal palpation to see how the organs, how the constitution is. On the abdomen, if you think about it, I have the stomach, I have the spleen, I have the liver. Adrenals we'll see often around the belly button. And if you think about it, the belly button connects directly to your back, which is where the kidneys are. And then I have a little bit of like blood stagnation, which relates to the liver as well. That's another zone here, and the immune zones. So we're looking at her pain here. So when I push down on the front of her shin, this is where you have the pain, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And same thing on this side, right here. Mm-hmm. And then if I look here at her IT band, which runs right there, if I go here, this is pretty tender, right? Mm-hmm. So what I'm looking at is stomach channel, and this is gallbladder, but it also relates to the liver. Liver, gallbladder are kind of a pair here. So on our abdomen, so when I do an exam, I always take the pulse first to see, is it fast, is it slow, how is it moving under my fingers? And I'll do that on both sides. And then I start palpating. I'll palpate the hands, the neck, around the collarbone, the abdomen, and the feet. We've already gone through some of this here, but on our abdomen, we've identified that when I push here over the stomach, that's tender. It's pretty tight for her. And we also identified that this, when I try to reach the liver under the rib cage, I do that gently, but it's causing her a lot more discomfort than when I do this on the other side. So it tells me that there's something going on here where the liver gallbladder is. I haven't checked this one yet. How's that feeling?
It's okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so for simplifying a treatment today, we're going to focus on releasing this here. That's kind of where it's starting. By releasing this area, this should give me relief along the shin. Your calves, not so bad, right?
No.
Okay, so sanitizing some points here that we're going to work with. In my style, the Japanese style that I follow, I rarely needle the place that hurts first. I always aim to release pressure or pain when I push or with the movement, so that I'm not causing further trauma to the body. I'm bringing blood to the area, I'm relaxing the area, and then when that's done, we'll go a little more locally to the specific complaint. So I find that a very gentle approach on the body, and it's usually a lot more comfortable for the person receiving the treatment. So we talked about the stomach channel here for the shin splints. This is very, very tight when it touches it. So if I look at the stomach channel, it runs through here. There's also a point directly under that I feel is really, really tight. Yeah, and when I push this here, that's a good spot. Okay, so I always test my point locations first so that I don't use needles for nothing. I make sure that everything that I do, I can see reflected in the body with some change around the abdomen or in the area of pain. So that's my spot, right? Okay. Deep breath in. Yeah. Ooh. This one tends to be a little spicy, especially when things are tight.
Oh,
But how does this feel?
that's an immediate release.
Okay. And then if I come back here, let's say that the first time we did this was 10 out of 10. How does it feel now? Is it about
At least 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay. So So we have two sides because she's got pain on both sides. So I'm gonna massage this a little more because this one's a bit tighter. Just make sure that I have the right. See, already I can hear gurgling in our stomach, which means that we're affecting, that we're going into a more rest and digest. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. How's that?
Immediate release.
Okay. Okay. We still have a little bit of tension here, but that's where I'm going to come in more locally. And now,
Wow.
by touching this here like that, is that mostly better? So we know we're on the right track, right? Our abdomen feels better, our shin feels better. So now, with the same principle, don't know where I put my little tube. There we go. We're looking at releasing tension on the liver here. So we're going to test a few different points to see which one is better. Again, we're following the channel, right? So the liver channel, there's the liver here, but then it goes through the groin on the inner thigh, on the inside of the knee, down to the ankle, to the toe. So if I look a little further down the channel here, because I can't needle the liver directly, right? So I'm going to look here. And now, is that like drastically different? Okay. And if I come here, it's kind of tender still, right? Okay. There we go. This is better. I still have tension here, right? So following this channel, I can balance this one by finding a little tight band of tissue here. This one, right? Okay. Now this. Does that feel a little better?
Better.
Okay. So it's always about following the channel, following the line of tension to release it without going and putting more inflammation in the area. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to continue her treatment, needling the gallbladder channel. I'm going to come back locally on the stomach and do a few complementary points for her. And she's going to have a little bit of a rest time after that. And we're going to see where we're at after. So there you have it. Acupuncture can be a very valuable tool for runners. The body is an incredible machine, but like any machine, sometimes it needs a little adjustment. And that's where acupuncture can come in. Whether you're dealing with digestive issues, an injury that you're trying to recover from, or just overall stress and anxiety in your life, acupuncture is definitely something worth considering. Of course, acupuncture is not a magic bullet, so make sure that you consult with a qualified practitioner if this is something that you're considering. But if you're looking for a safe and natural way to enhance your running experience, acupuncture may be worth exploring. But I'm biased. So if you have any questions on how acupuncture can help you, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll have my contact information in the video description. But no question is too small. I love talking about what I do. So please do reach out if you have any questions. Until then, keep running. Thank you for watching.